Hello and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. In this session I'm going to be tying an old Welsh pattern called the Haul y Gwynt. It's a traditional wet fly pattern and in English it means sun and wind. According to the literature, that's when this fly is at its most effective. It's tied to represent a whole host of terrestrial insects that can get blown into upland Welsh lakes when it's sunny and very windy, hence its name. And the reason it's such an effective fly is because terrestrials getting blown into the water make up quite a large proportion of an upland trout's diet in Wales. The lakes are quite thin on the ground in terms of aquatic insects, so they sort of rely on stuff being blown in. So there we go. To tie the pattern, we're going to need a uni thread in black 8/0. For the rib, we're going to be using a gold wire by Vineyard. This is a size 27. It's the finest one that they do. In the vise, I've got a Camazan, a B405 in size 10. For the body, I'm going to be using some black ostrich herl. You could use peacock herl if you prefer. I believe the traditional pattern does indeed use ostrich. For the wing, I'm going to be using a duck quill that's been dyed black. You could use magpie, crow for black wings, or if you prefer a grey wing, which some of these patterns do have, the variations at least, you could use mallard or goose. And finally, for the hackle, we're going to be using an unusual material. It's only found in a couple of patterns that I know of. There's this pattern, the Haul y Gwynt, and there's also another pattern called the bracken clock, which is a North Country spider pattern. It's tied to represent a beetle. And we're going to be using these. These are the neck feathers of a cock pheasant, and you use them in a very similar way to what you would a partridge feather. Okay, so we'll get started. We're going to come in at the eye and bed the hook. And we're going to stop when the thread dangles between the barb and the point. Then I'm going to tie in our gold wire. And then pop that behind the wheel out the way. Then we're going to tie in our ostrich herl. Like so, and then we shall tidy up and take the thread back up towards the head. Now we want to leave plenty of room for the wing and the hackle. The hackle's quite bulky especially. We're going to wind our body with touching turns of the ostrich herl. Trim away. Then we're going to wind our wire the opposite way. Now the wire's there more to protect the ostrich herl really. It is quite a soft, weak fibre. And I think the slightest contact with anything sharp, such as a trout's tooth for example, might cause the fly to fall apart. I'll tie that in. Hold the thread tight and then wiggle the wire, and eventually it will break. There we go. And then we're going to tie in our wings. I'm going to start with the wing closest to you, the left wing. And you want the point of the wing to be in line with the bend of the hook. I like to tie one wing at a time. I'm just a bit strange like that. A lot of fly anglers actually can tie both wings in at the same time. If you can do that, then do that. It is better. And then once the wing is how you like it, trim away the excess. And tidy up, ready for your hackle. You need to get rid of that step basically between the eye and where you've tied in the wing. Otherwise the hackle will slip when you wind it. Try and find a suitable feather. So what you want to do once you've found your feather, you want to strip off the fluff. You're only going to be able to get a couple of turns into this feather. That's what you're going to be left with. And you're going to find the point of the feather with your hackle pliers, like so. Then you're going to brush the fibres back. Have it so that the curve of the feather is facing towards the fly and tie it in at the base of the wing. like so. Trim away the excess and then wind the hackle. Cut away the stalk, brush the fibres back, and start to form your head. And then we finish. Trim away. And varnish to finish. And there we are. That is the Haul y Gwynt. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.